Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum everyone and welcome to Divine Allegiance. I'm your host Maulana Baig, the show where knowledge meets reality. It is the month of Shaban, and as we are discussing that this month belongs to the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt, and especially the mission of Allah that started on Ashura in the land of Karbala, was the whole mission, and everyone who was involved in that mission and that movement and all the great personalities that you hear about in all the teachings and all the history of Ashura, all of them were born in Shaban. And that's what we are discussing today. Is going to be the discussion about Imam Zainul Abidin, or his real name Ali ibn Hussain. He is the fourth Imam, the son of Imam Hussain, and a central figure in the aftermath of Ashura. So we are going to obviously, I want to discuss about his birth. It is his birth, and I want to go into some history so that truly, historically, what was his birth, how was his birth, and what actually happened, and the relevancy of his birth and what happened before and after it. It's quite interesting to see the history and what it meant for the Muslim world, and in teaching the Muslims about certain truths that the Prophet wanted to teach, Allah wanted to teach right from the start, but wasn't able to get the circumstances or the understanding or the place for it to be taught. But it happened in the time of Imam Sajjad. So I'm going to get to that right away. All right. The father of Imam Ali ibn Hussain obviously is Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain is the prodigal grandchild of the Prophet. He has providence behind him. He was the example. He was like the loved one of the whole Muslim world at that time, being raised up next to the Prophet, always having the Prophet next to him. Everyone saw him. Everyone knew that Allah and the Prophet loved Imam Hussain. So much history of Imam Hussain is tied with the history of early Islam. It is undeniably related to each other, connected to each other, and hence whenever you take the name of the Prophet in early Islam, Imam Hussain has to be mentioned. Imam Hussain was mentioned by the Prophet in so many ways and was shown to the world in so many ways that every Muslim, no matter what ideological background you come from, you need to have a place for Imam Hussain in your faith and in your heart, and just in accordance to the amount of history that Imam Hussain shared with the Prophet. So Imam Hussain being the king of paradise, Imam Hussain being from the Prophet, about whom the Prophet said that Husaynun minni wa ana min Hussain, that Hussain is from me and I am from Hussain. We both are connected with each other, and hence all of that goes down. And there's so many other things, that we all know about. So on one hand, the father of Imam Sajjad is Imam Hussain. And on the other hand, you have the mother of Imam Sajjad. And this is where it gets interesting. The mother of Imam Sajjad is the daughter of the last king of Iran before the conquest of Iran by the Muslim world. The name of the mother is Shahrbano. She is the daughter of Yazdgard. Yazdgard being the king of Iran from the Sassanid dynasty. And this was the last dynasty before the conquest of the Muslim world. And the conquest of the Muslim world wasn't an overnight thing. It lasted for nearly 20 years. Since the time of Omar, who started the invasion into Iran, it lasted all the way, almost halfway through the Khilafat of Uthman, almost 18 years. And in that time, slowly but surely, the Muslims rode in, conquering land after land, region after region, province after province. And the king had nowhere to run, so he was going from one province to another, hiding and trying to accumulate an army that's going to defend his kingdom, but unsuccessful. So he went forward and trying to do whatever he can, eventually ending up in a place called Marv, all the way in eastern Iran, where modern day Mashhad is. And he ended up there, and that's where they captured and killed him. And as he was killed, his children, amongst them 2 daughters in particular, were captured, imprisoned, and they were sent back to the ruler of the Muslim world at that time, Uthman. Now, it was said that they came back at the time of Omar, but that's apparently wrong because Iran fell after Omar. I mean, the king was killed after Omar. So that doesn't seem to be right that they came back at the time of Omar. So the history that says that they came back at the time of Uthman is accepted by most of the scholars as being the correct history. That they came back, they were brought to Uthman. Now the reason they were brought to Uthman is because they were the daughters of the king, they were royalty, they were royal blood, and hence it wasn't up to the normal Muslims just to do what they can with them or to take them as prisoners for themselves. So they were sent to the Khalifa, the ruler, that is Uthman, and there Uthman, as he had them in the court, there he was trying to see what we are going to do with them. And that's when Imam Ali alayhi salam came forward and said that these are human beings. They're not animals that we can choose for them what they want to do. Let them choose. They have a choice. Allah has given everyone a choice. So let them choose who they want to choose as their husband and what they want to do. So one of the sisters, which is Sheher Bano, Imam Ali told her that go ahead and choose. And hence she went to choose her husband. And she went around the room looking for her husband, a choice that she was told that she can make herself. And as she went, without any hesitation or without any doubt, she went directly to Imam Hussain. And she said that this is who I choose. And as it was the case, it was her choice, and she chose Imam Hussain. And Imam Ali asked her what is her name, and she said her name is Shah-e-Zanan. Shah-e-Zanan means that, again, Sayyidatun Nisa in Arabic, or the chief of all the women. So as she said that, so there Imam Ali repeated her name and said, so you will be Sheher Bano. And that's what she was called after that as she came to the house of Imam Ali, this incident happened. She came to the house of Imam Ali, and she was asked that, how come you chose Imam Hussain without a doubt? You went directly to him when there are so many people, and he was hidden from you in the crowd. I mean, imagine if you're like a prisoner, just brought as a prisoner into a new city, you don't know any people, and you're standing among strangers, and then you're told to choose one of them as your husband, which is like, I mean, how difficult that is for you to choose someone. You have no clue who they are, what their background is, and then you go directly to one person and just choose him. What did she see in him? What was she thinking of that she went to Imam Hussain directly without anyone telling her anything or hinting at anything? She just went there and she chose Imam Hussain. So she was asked that after she came into the house of Imam Ali. As she came there in the house as Imam Hussain, as she was asked that, she replied back and responded to Imam Ali and everyone else in the household that I knew him and I have seen him. So everyone was like, pray tell, why? How did you see him? You never came here to Medina. So she said that, let me tell you a story, that it was the night of the siege, the last siege before the Muslims had conquered us. The last siege that we had that night when we slept, as we slept there, I had a dream in which I saw the Prophet of Islam. And he came and announced himself. And he was holding the hand of Hussain, Imam Hussain. He was holding the hand of Imam Hussain. And he spoke to me and said that I want to engage you to my grandson, Hussain. And I witnessed this, I saw this, and I saw Hussain. That I said yes. And then he left. And as he left, soon after that, the mother of Hussain, Fatima Zahra, came and she congratulated me. And she said, welcome to our family. You are going to be my bride, the bride of my son Hussain. And she welcomed me and she told me that tomorrow the city is going to fall. The Muslims are going to win and conquer. But do not worry. You will be brought to Medina, where you will finally see Hussain and meet him, and you will be united with him. So from that time onwards, I knew that nothing was going to happen to me. I had this calm over myself, just tranquility. And every day and every night as I slept, I used to see Hussain. And I saw him. And I saw him again and again. No matter what happened, everyone else around me was scared. They were in fear. They were frightened. But me, no. I was calm. I was in comfort, in tranquility, knowing that I'm going to be united with Hussain. We went through a lot. The journey wasn't easy. When you look at this, the journey wasn't easy, coming from all the way from Marv and being brought as a prisoner. It wasn't even a straight shot. It was stopping on the way, everyone changing guards, all of these things happened. It was a long journey for her to come here. And then when she actually came here to this place, to Medina, in being treated like a prisoner of war, the people didn't know then. It was Imam Ali who came there and he saw the treatment that was being meted out and he stopped that. He told the soldiers that were handling and the handlers that were looking after them to back off. This is not how you deal with people. And then he gave them the respect that is due to them. But before that, it was a hard trip, a difficult trip. And these are ladies from royal background being raised as princess of a kingdom, are not used to being treated like that. But the calm that she had, the tranquility that she had, going through all of these hardships, because she was focused, she had a purpose, and that purpose was that she's going to find her promised husband. And that's when she said that when I was asked to choose and I looked around, and as soon as I saw Hussain and my husband, I knew this is the one. And I came directly to him and chose him. And so as she said this story, and Imam Ali now gave her to Imam Hussain. He married her to Imam Hussain, saying this. He said, "Ahtafiz biha." Look after her. Be careful of her. Be nice to her. Because she is going to give you a son who is going to be the best on the earth after you. He is going to be the best on the earth, the best human being on the earth after you. He will have the greatness of two sides. And that's why when you see Imam Sajjad's birth, he was known as Ibn Khayaratain. Ibn Khayaratain means the son of two chosen people. On one hand, obviously, is Ahlul Bayt, the household of prophethood and revelation, the household that is beloved by Allah, the chosen ones of Allah. And on the other hand, you have from the non-Arabs, from the Ajam, a royal family. And hence, both of them are going to be united under the brought together. Now this is where we are going to see how important was his birth. Because from the beginning, Islam and the message of Islam is for all of mankind as equals. All the message that Allah brought and Allah sent and the Prophet brought is for all of mankind as one people. Not, for example, some being higher than the other. And that's why even at the beginning of Islam, Allah was giving this message in the most important of places. For example, in Hajjatul Wida, in the sermon of the Prophet at his last Hajj, where he brought all the Muslims together. In that Hajj, he made the announcement and declaration of Allah at that point that there is no Arab or non-Arab in Islam. There is no nationality in Islam. There is no race in Islam that's better than the other. No, all human beings are equal. Now, the message was declared in words, but in practice, it wasn't really understood. The realization did not come about. And it went on. Then, obviously, the demise of the Prophet. And then whatever happened to Ahlul Bayt, that's right now besides the point. But the fact is that the Muslims started to conquer the world around them. Egypt on one hand, Iran on one hand, and we're looking at these places as subservient. And these are non-Arabs, these are Ajam, and they are slaves. How can they be our equal when we conquered them? One, we're Arabs, and two, we conquered them. So we are on top, we are better. And hence the whole arrogance of racism, the whole arrogance of nationalism was being raised in them or becoming intensified. They already had it before, but it was being intensified. An example of how it can come together. And this is where you see where Allah brought from the king who was conquered, his daughter to Medina, the capital of the Muslim world. And there, Hussain, who is the prodigal grandson of the Prophet, every Muslim knows about Hussain. He is like walking like a prince. And everyone knew his stature, everyone knew who he is, what he is, and how beloved he is. Not just to the Prophet, but even just looking at it and the Muslim world. So, two sides, the best of the Arab and the best of the non-Arab, come together and then they are married. They are brought together in a union of marriage, from which a child is born who's going to be the best of the Arabs and the non-Arabs. Of all of mankind. The best of all of mankind. Imam Sajjad has many titles that he's known by, many qualities that he's known by. Zainul Abidin. He is the ornament of those who worship. He is Sayyidus Sajidin, the chief of all those who prostrate. He is Sajjad, the one who prostrates constantly. All of these titles that have been given to him are his qualities that the world of Muslims, whether you are followers of Ahlul Bayt or not, all of them attested to his grand stature, to his character, and to his greatness. And it was brought about by a union of Arab and non-Arab. It wasn't an Arab marriage. Imam Hussain did not marry from the Arab tribe. He married from an Iranian background. And so it came about a union that would bring about a son like Imam Sajjad. Not only that, but as Imam Ali said, to further that hadith I mentioned to you, he further said that he is going to be the best man on earth after you. And he told about the mother, Shahrbano, that she is going to be the mother of Shajaratun Tayyaba, the lineage of the Imams after Imam Hussain. No, Zurriyatun Tayyaba is the children of Imam Hussain going downwards till Imam Mahdi. So all of the Imams who came after Imam Hussain were from the genes of Imam Hussain, lineage of Imam Hussain through Shahrbano. She had that status and that merit that she had earned. It wasn't because of accident. It wasn't because just it was there. Imam Ali explained to his household, to Imam Hussain and the household, in regards to Shehrbano. She said that she is honored with intelligence. She's honored with intelligence and eloquence. And hence, and iffat, which means chastity. That her character was chaste. And she's been honored with that by Allah. Gifted in three things: chastity, intelligence, and eloquence. And all of these three things are embodied in her. Imagine that. That is such a praise from Imam Ali to his daughter-in-law. And he brought her home and he gave that, and Imam Hussain. It is something special when we look at that, how it happened. Just when we see what it means and how it was to Imam Sajjad, and what Imam Sajjad, obviously Imam Sajjad being the person who's going to witness a lot of tragedies in his life. A lot of tragedies in his life, and throughout his life, he will witness these tragedies. And we know that. He is Abul Masa'ib. Truly, he has witnessed more tragedies than anyone that you can just imagine. And Imam Sajjad, his first tragedy came with his mother. Because as soon as he was born and she brought him into the world, right after she gave birth, she passed away. She died. And Imam Sajjad was not raised by her. He could not get the comfort and care and love that she wanted to give him, because she died after childbirth. Shehrbano died after childbirth, and Imam Sajjad never had the opportunity to see her or to feel her love. He was raised by others in the household, but this is the first tragedy that Imam Sajjad faced in his life. It began from here, and it was something that is going to come in his life now. So many sufferings he's going to go through, but it started here, and maybe Allah's plan was that. It is amazing that Imam Sajjad brought these things together. His birth was a union to bring people together. People who are completely different, completely apart, do not like each other, and this was the beginning of a unity between the Arabs and non-Arabs that would last for a long time, and that would become normal for people to regard non-Arabs as Muslims and be married to them. It was Imam Sajjad who became that singular person who was able to give that message of unity through his own birth and through his own life. Thank you for being here. It is the month of Shaban, and it is the birthday of Imam Sajjad, and we are celebrating it. And I'm glad that you could have joined us. It was a pleasure to have you here. Please do listen to us. And we are here every day on Divine Allegiance on YouTube. You can subscribe to us right down there on your screen. There's a subscription. Just takes no money or anything like that. Just go ahead and subscribe so that any new video that comes, it'll come directly to you. And we thank you for joining in. May Allah bless you all. This has been Divine Allegiance, and I'm your host Maulana Baig. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.